always afraid. You step out of line, the man comes and takes you away. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going through that stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going through that stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going through that stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down, down. Good morning.
Good morning. Everyone can hear me? Yes? Okay. Good morning. My name is Alix Jules. I'm the historian for the Fellowship of Freethought. Better? Better? How's that? Okay. How's that? Better? A little bit more? Good morning? All right. Okay. All right. Today's topic is actually closet atheism. So I'm actually going to ask that you keep the cameras where they are for a second. All right. Can I get a count of everyone who's here? Hands up. How many of you identify? Identify as being atheist or agnostic? This is going to be hard. Okay. Just free thinker or skeptic? How about free thinker with no particular label? So everyone here is atheist. Oh, okay, one. All right. All right, now I'm going to ask that you put your hands back up for all of you that identify as atheist or agnostic. All right. How many of you are truly open about it? And what I mean by that is teachers, family, friends, coworkers, boss, manager, commanding officer, etc., all know. Right, so we had a lot of hands go down. Okay, you can put your hands down now. Okay, so excluding, because it's never come up, again with the camera frozen, how about bosses back again? How many of you actually have your bosses that actually know? Wow. Wow, significantly less. Okay. All right. Let me get two people that are willing to just scream out why that is. I mean, if you're afraid or whether it's retribution, why do your bosses not know? You're so outnumbered. One more. Anyone? Never asked, okay. Don't get fired right away. All right, so back to the military for a second. So it tends to be fear or retribution. We all know that. Our unbelieving military, the term no atheist in foxholes cuts particularly deep. We've got more support for openly gay military personnel now than the openly rational military personnel right now, right? So, and of course, for our secular students, our youth that choose not to live in the closet, or that particular closet, and choose to be out, they have SSA posters ripped off walls and discarded, thrown, ripped, burnt. So now, according to the Error Survey, 29% of 18 to 29-year-olds are religiously unaffiliated. And in 2006, Pew Research found that 1 in 5 young people said they have no religious affiliation, nearly double the proportion of the 80s. So now we've got to provide a safe environment for those children. So I don't want to turn this into a recovering from religion session, but how many have lost family and friends when they came out? Okay. All right, so of those, did anyone ever have second thoughts or potentially regret coming out? Awesome. None for those that didn't. Anyone ever felt or made to feel ashamed of what they believe? Yeah, okay. All right, okay. All right, so many of us hide it, right, or choose to hide it. Austin Klein states very accurately, I think, that not all atheists hide their atheism from friends, neighbors, coworkers, and family, but many do. Really. This doesn't mean that they are necessarily ashamed of their atheism. Instead, it often means that they are afraid of the reaction of others if they find out, and this is because so many religious theists, especially Christians, are intolerant of atheism and atheists. I'm just reading it, I didn't say it. So many of us hide or are closeted, not out of the shame, but out of fear. I am personally very open about what I believe in my community because I've made a personal decision that regardless of the backlash of being an atheist who happens to be in one of the most religious minorities out there, that my children are more important. It's more important for me to provide or make sure that they have an environment where they're going to feel comfortable. And that's actually why we keep coming here every month and why we do the outings, etc. So my friends, my children make friends with your children, and we talk for a little, and we learn and laugh for a while, then we go back, and the nonsense that we deal with from the rest of the world, we deal with it. Right? Becomes a little bit more bearable. But I don't personally go proclaiming my disbelief to coworkers because I don't think my religious or irreligious belief are anyone's business. But my children's future, the world that they inherit, is my business, and that's where I do get very vocal. But here we share, often sitting in judgment, but not judging each other. We have a community, often slightly dysfunctional, but community. We have a community. Now imagine that the very person that is denouncing you and who stands in judgment of you is actually one of you. We find out all too often about gay-bashing politicians or religious leaders that have made it their purpose to set back the GLBT movement, equality movement, as far back as they can, or to cry from their pulpits that a natural disaster was sent to us by God because we allow homosexuals to marry, or will allow them to marry. It'll come. Then turn around, get on planes with male prostitutes, rape little boys, go tapping around public restrooms, or flagrantly have intimate encounters, taped, voicemails left that eventually get leaked out to the media. But imagine those same people screaming not just about who you are allowed to love or marry, but what you're allowed to believe. I was a Christian, pretty heavy, and I can say with a high degree of certainty that most congregations would have a difficult time with a pastor who said that they didn't believe in God. I'm just saying. So we've got examples, right? Dan Barker, John Loftus, Charles Templeton, G. Vincent Runyon, Joe Holman, Jim Show, Bart Ehrman, James McAllister, and of course our friend from Atheist Nexus, Brother Richard. Just preacher after preacher who have written books and have been very open about their atheism, right? So this is a growing issue in the age of growing disbelief, where the impervious shield of religious dogma that shrouds clergy is showing even more vulnerability. And just like many of us who are afraid of retribution from friends and employers, the unbelieving ministry now hides in fear of retribution from their clergy, the ones that once embraced them. I don't know how to feel about that, personally, but I know that I would welcome them, and I know I feel for them. I mean, while some of us are forced to hide in our closets, these guys are forced to hide in their confessionals, which can be very lonely and embarrassing if you realize that you've been talking to yourself all along, right?